Mike Baker is a former CIA covert operations officer, and he joins us now from Boise. Mike, thanks for joining us. What's been the response in the intelligence community to Congressman Mike Pompeo being chosen to head the CIA?
Well, I mean, so far, at least from the folks that I've talked to and from knowing what the culture is like, having spent a lot of years in the operations area of the agency, the general feeling is it's a solid pick. It's surprising in the sense that the name hadn't been floated out there in speculation out in the public arena. So in that sense, it was a bit of a surprise, but not a surprise from the fact that, oh, he's not qualified. I mean, he came out of West Point, first in his class, these things that have already been talked about, Harvard, and then served on the Intelligence Committee as well as the subcommittee for the CIA. There's precedent for, bringing somebody into the director's position with a similar pedigree coming off the Hill, and oftentimes it works. So I've heard some people expressing surprise in the sense that, well, he doesn't have, intelligence collection experience. But frankly, it's been a long time since we've staffed the director position at the CIA with somebody who came up from within the CIA in the operational side. John Brennan was, on the director, the DI side for most of his career. Very capable, very smart individual. But getting somebody who would actually be on the street level operator side, you'd have to go back a long ways to find that.
Mike, I've had an opportunity to interview Congressman Pompeo, as you've said, and many others, both Democrats and Republicans. He's a stand-up guy. He's a rising star in the Congress. But I did ask him specifically about Donald Trump's assertion during a debate whether or not he would give an order to a United States soldier or sailor or Marine to execute the family member of a terrorist if he so ordered as the commander-in-chief. And I asked him if that was the kind of leadership the president should be exhibiting when we put people to the noose in Nuremberg for doing just that after World War II. So I wonder, in this position, will he bring in that worldview that perhaps Donald Trump has, or will he be able to sort of carve his own path if he runs the CIA?
No, here's what I think, and I hope I'm right. And I think my experience. Again, we all base our opinions based on our experience. This is what my experience tells me: is that once you get into a position of significant responsibility, once you become aware of all the information that exists out there, the dangers, the crises, all the complexity that's involved, whether you're coming in as the president, whether you're coming in as the head of the CIA, whatever that position may be, or even the national security advisor, it tends to put you back on your heels a little bit. It snaps your neck, however you want to refer to it. It makes you wake up. It's a sobering moment. And my experience has been that a lot of times people may walk into a position with certain ideas, or they've said things in the past. Then they see the complexity. They see the whole picture, and that shapes the way they then move forward. So I'm not really concerned in that sense. And I would say the same thing about President-elect Trump. Part of me is being hopeful. I admit that. But again, experience tells me that when you see the weight of all that information, when you see the complexities and the layered situations that you're dealing with at that point, you tend to sober up pretty quickly and you start making very pragmatic decisions.
He does have to be approved by the Senate, which, noted, does have a Republican majority. But do you feel as though he will face any huge challenges in that process?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a solid pick, and it's a solid pick also in the fact that I think nobody sails through the confirmation process for the most part, but I think that he will be confirmed. In terms of his reception at the CIA, by the officers there, again, based on experience, it doesn't matter the administration. It doesn't matter the incoming director. The people of the CIA, just like the people of the FBI and some of our other organizations, they just march forward. They just do their job. They receive the tasks from the administration. They work with the director that's put in place. Whatever it may be, that's the way you do this. And I know that it's sometimes hard for people to believe because they see the feature films and the CIA is out there running some one world government. But again, my experience is it's an apolitical organization, and it just goes forward and does what it's told to do.
And we are always thankful for the sacrifices and the trials and tribulations that those at the CIA, not only in the clandestine service, but across the organization, do to keep us safe, Mike. But I want to ask you about speculation over who might fill the Director of National Intelligence position. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, that's a really important question, Vlad. That's because, again, given the structure now that we have within the intel community, it used to be that the CIA director had a much bigger seat at the table there at the White House. But with the buildup of I suppose, a layer of bureaucracy after 9/11 and the way that we did that, we put the DNI above that. So the DNI really has that relationship with the president now that the CIA director used to have. So this position, the DNI position, is very, very important. Names that have been thrown out there, current NSA director, Admiral Rogers, he would be a very solid choice, extremely well versed in the world of intelligence and the complexities and all the various elements and organizations that are involved. So I think that would be probably a very wise choice. Other individuals, again, pure speculation at that point. So I don't want to venture into it, but I will say that, if I had to speculate, I'd say that Admiral Rogers might have the inside track at this point.
Always good to get your opinion on things. Mike Baker in Boise, Idaho. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.